Hey guys, TommyBryson here, and as you guys know, I don't have any credit card debt anymore, and the only thing I have is student loan debt, but I have the cash to pay it off, but it's not charging me any interest, so it makes no sense for me to pay it off just yet. So I'm just waiting with the cash on hand to go ahead and pay it the minute they try to charge me interest on that loan. But this video is all about basically, if you have debt, what debt do you pay first and in what order and why? And by the way, everyone on YouTube has their own way to do this, but in reality, there are 10 different ways to go to Florida or California, but what you want is basically the most efficient way to actually get there, not spend that much time, and also save a ton of money. And the same thing applies to debt, right? You want to basically pay it off very quickly, you want to save a lot of money, and you want to make it very simple, and that way you don't get trapped with any fees, or you forgot to pay this card, or something else happens. So that's the core foundation of this video. By the end of this video, I guarantee you'll know exactly how to do what I did to get at around $13,000 in credit card debt, okay? That is what I'm going to teach you. And by the way, guys, if you guys are new here, I post videos every single day, so you should also subscribe and hit the bell so you get notified. On top of that, also destroying the like button. Now, the first thing is this, guys, okay? The method I use to pay off my debts on time, in full, and very quickly is basically called the avalanche method. Now, I have no idea who created it, so in a way I stole it, but guess what? You want to steal good things, and that way you get better in life. That's what I basically do all the time. But the idea is that the avalanche method is basically a way to organize your debt. That way you pay it off a lot quicker, but you also save a ton of money. And the core idea of this method is basically you want to organize your debt from the highest APR to a lowest APR and pay off the debt with the highest APR first and make your way down and down and down. By the way, APR is the interest you're charged on that debt every single year. For example, if I have $1,000 and my APR is 35%, it means that every single year, if I don't pay that balance, I'm paying around, what is it, like $350, but in reality, it's more because they compounded. Listen, man, those people are very smart with what they do, and that's why my job is to get you out of debt as fast as possible. And by the way, APR can range from 0% all the way to 35% and sometimes even higher. So if you don't know exactly what your APR is on your credit card debt, on your student loan, or your car loan, there is one simple way to kind of figure it out, okay? You can either just call the person you owe money to and say, for example, hey, credit card Amex, Capital One, Chase, whatever your name is, okay? What exactly is my APR? And they'll tell you. By law, they have to tell you, and you'll know exactly how much you pay them in interest. However, I know a lot of people don't like calling people anymore, which is weird, but the answer is if you don't want to call anyone, just check your credit card statement or whatever statement you actually have, and it'll tell you right there exactly what your APR actually is. For example, this right here is my Discover statement. Right here it tells me my balance, which is 0, and also tells me exactly my credit line, and also tells me, for example, my credit score. And this is basically on the first page. However, if we go down to like around the third page, it'll tell you exactly what your APR actually is. In my case, my APR is around 15.99% for purchases and around 24.99% for a cash advance, when I basically take cash out of the credit card. And you'll know exactly how much you actually pay when it comes to your APR, or for example, just an interest. Now, once you have this information, all you want to do is basically make a list of all your debts and organize it from the highest APR to a lowest APR, and that is all you have to do. And the core idea is you want to pay the debt with the highest APR first to save a ton of money when it comes to interest, okay? That is the core idea of how the avalanche method actually works. Now, say for example, you don't want to do all that stuff, right? And you're like, Tommy, this sounds great, but I don't want to make a whole list. I don't want to do all this work. Well, in reality, guess what? I did the work for you already. I'm awesome, right? And if you want this right here, I'll put a link down below. But for right now, let's take a look at what it's actually supposed to look like, okay? And here it is right here on Excel. By the way, link down below. Just download a copy. Do not ask me to share it with you, because if I share it with you, basically, you can edit it and then everyone is confused about it. So just go ahead, when you click the link, click download your own copy, and then you go ahead and you edit it and do whatever you actually want to do with it. But here is what it looks like. You have the debt avalanche method. Here you have the priority, which one you actually pay first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you have more than that, well, just organize more than that. On top of that, you want to put exactly right here the credit card information or the loan information. In this case, Discover, Capital One, Amex, Chase, car loan, student loan debt. Include every single debt you have, even personal loans, except a mortgage if you actually have a mortgage, okay? And by the way, congrats if you have a mortgage. That is awesome. Now, over here, you want to put the balance of the credit cards that you actually have, okay? Again, the balance does not matter. That's not the order we want to base it on. We want to base it on the APR. Again, we're going to go from the highest APR to the lowest APR, and that is how we're actually going to arrange everything, okay? From the highest APR to the lowest APR. And then right here, we want to put in our minimum payments that are due every single month from those cards right here, okay? How do you know? Usually, it's either $25 or 3% of your entire credit card balance. So in this case, it would be maybe 3% of $1,000, which is around $30, or for example, $25. If you don't know, just go ahead and call Discover or check online, and it'll tell you exactly what your minimum payment usually is, okay? And that is all you have to do. And down here, it'll tell you exactly how much money you actually owe, and also what your minimum payments actually are every single month. And then here, the extra cash is basically how much you're gonna put extra towards the first card, okay? The one that's our first priority. Now, I do want to make something very, very clear. It makes no sense to do this entire idea if you're just going to go ahead and use all of your credit cards. Now, in reality, some people burn their credit cards, cut them, or do whatever they want to do with it, put it in a cube of ice. But all I do is basically, I put my credit cards in a cabinet and I don't look at it. I don't use them. So while you're doing this, I don't want you to use your credit cards anymore or to get into any more debt. It's kind of like, for example, you're trying to fill this entire bucket with water and your brother just grabs the bucket and throws it out, okay? That's what you're doing, right? Because basically, you're trying to pay off debts, but you keep getting into more debt and more debt and more debt. It makes no sense. So the first thing is this, okay? You want to basically stop using the credit cards and stop getting into debt. If you want to grab the credit cards, cut them, great. If you want to burn them, great. If you want to put them in a cube of ice, great. But what I do is basically just put it in a drawer or a cabinet and don't use it, and that's all you have to do. Now, guys, there is one more thing here, okay? Because basically, this is pretty cool, right? Minimum payments, but it means that you have to track around 6 different loans every single month, and that can get confusing. You might forget. So in reality, what I also want you to do is this. Go to your credit card provider, okay? Whether that's Amex, Chase, whatever card it is, and I want you to put on auto pay and pay the minimum balance every single month. That way, all your cards are being paid off at the minimum. And then with the extra money you actually have to put towards the other cards, then you just go ahead and you put it towards the number one card. So for example, if I myself had all these cards right here, okay, 6 different loan accounts, right? What I would do is I would go on Discover, Capital One, Amex, Chase, car loan, and also student loan debt and put it on auto pay every single month. That way, I pay the minimum balance and I don't have to worry about any late fees anymore. Now, let's say, for example, I have an extra $500 every single month, right? I'll use that money and I'll pay it towards this card right here, my number one priority, which is basically the Discover one. Now, I know for a fact that if I owe $1,000, and I'm putting in $500 every single month, in reality, I'm going to be done with this card basically in 2 months. Now, once I'm done with this card, I grab all the extra money and I put it towards my second card, which is basically the Capital One card. So boom, I put this towards here and I keep doing it over and over and over again. It's basically going from the highest APR to the next one, to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. And that's all you basically have to do. And that is how it works. But please, do not sabotage yourself by going out there and getting into more credit card debt while you're doing this, okay? It's the most important thing that you don't want to do. And by the way, guys, here's one tip that I recommend you also do. Most of you guys won't do this, but it's important if you actually want to save a lot of money. Well, you can always grab your phone. I don't know where my phone is, I'm sorry. But you can always grab, well, I have this other phone here. Well, I have a better phone, okay? Let me grab it right quick. You can always grab your phone, okay? It's a Nokia, by the way. Grab your phone and call your credit card provider and say, for example, hey, I noticed that basically this card is the highest APR I actually have. I love the credit card, I love the features, and I don't want to close it. So that's why I'm calling in today to negotiate the APR to see if you guys can actually match my other credit card's APR. And usually they will say, no, I have to talk to my manager, I have to do this. And you say, hey, that's fine, talk to someone. But the thing is, again, I love the credit card, I love the points, I use it very frequently, as you can tell. But the answer is the APR is way too high compared to every single other credit card I have. And then usually they will say, yes, okay, we are going to lower the APR. How much do you want it at? Well, they'll tell you exactly what you qualify for, okay? And that way, you're good to go. And you also save a lot of money, okay? Because basically, look at this, guys, okay? If I can go from 25% on Discover to 16% or 18%, that is still going to save me money. So again, remember, call in, negotiate to lower the APR. That's a very good tactic there, okay? Now, guys, if I'm being honest here, it's going to take the average person between 1 to sometimes 5 to 7 years to pay off all their debts. But if you want to be extra and put in all your money, you might finish in 1 month or 6 months, or even, for example, 1 year like I did, okay? I finished very quickly because basically I put all my extra money towards debt. Now, I want to clarify one thing here, okay? Tommy, what do I do with the credit cards after they're actually paid off? And on top of that, how much money do I actually put towards my credit cards to actually pay them off? The answer is, guys, I'm not going to be the person that's going to tell you basically, hey, go and close all of your accounts, because basically that's kind of stupid, because we live in a world where your credit score is very important. So the answer is, I'm going to tell you this though, okay? Grab your credit cards, cut them, burn them, don't use them, but I won't tell you to close the accounts. And here's why. I want you to keep them active. That way, your credit score goes up, but you are not getting into debt anymore. So again, for example, if this right here is actually my debt, right? My debt. I owe Discover, Capital One, all these cards right here, okay? And now all of them are paid off in full. Tell me, what do I do next? The answer is, I would put my Netflix bill on Discover, my phone bill on Capital One, my iTunes bill on this one, my internet bill on this one, and the answer is all of them have one bill, and I will switch over from the minimum payments every single month on autopay. I will switch over to basically pay the statement balance every single month. That way, I will never ever get charged any interest, but my credit score will continue to go up and up and up while I'm also not getting into debt, okay? So the basic idea is just put a small bill on them, pay them off in full every single month. That way, you grow your credit score, but you don't get into any more debt whatsoever. And again, cut the physical cards. That way, you're not tempted to go out there and use them either, okay? That is the core idea. And by the way, lastly here, Tommy, how much do I pay towards all these cards? The answer is, I recommend between 20% to 50% of all the money you make, you put it towards your debts. And you might say, Tommy, that's way too much money. I can't live my life. The answer is, well, how are you living your life now when somebody else literally owns your butt, right? Because all those people, in a way, they own you, because all the money you make every single time you get paid, they're like, hey, yeah, that's my cut, my cut, my cut. Give me this money, and all you're left with is basically the scrums, or the crumbs, right? The crumbs, yeah, the crumbs. So now, when you pay off all your debt, all your money is yours. You can go out there, do more investing, do whatever you actually want, but only after your debt is clear. Again, a minimum of 20%, and if you want to be ultra crazy, just do 50% of whatever you actually make and put it towards your debt and pay it off as fast as possible, including your student loan debt, your car loan, or for example, any other loans you actually have, except the mortgage. The mortgage is different. And by the way, guys, for certain debts that you actually have, it's going to be better that you actually just go ahead and sell whatever you actually have, okay? For example, if I had a $25,000 car loan, I'll basically sell the car for like $20K, cut my losses, and buy a used car for cash, and that way, I don't have that anymore. I'm not paying anymore, okay? Either way, you're going to get from point A to point B, no matter what car you actually drive. Just make sure the car is nice, certified to use, and that way you won't have any breakdowns actually taking place, okay? And guys, one tip is also this. If you want to do this correctly, make sure you save $1,000 or 1 month's salary, because at some point, something's going to happen in life to stop this process. So make sure you have extra money on the side to cover expenses if they happen for emergencies, okay? And that is what I recommend. Now guys, comment down below and let me know, did this video help you? Do you want me to send you a Nokia? You know, I'm very generous these days, guys. Comment down below and let me know. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. As always, like this video. On top of that, also subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified. And if you want to text me or call me, start to my Patreon, link down below, or send me a DM on Instagram. Unfortunately, this Nokia does not have Instagram. However, if you want to watch the video next on investing after you're done with your debts, here's that video right here. Also, click my face right now to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and as always, peace.